Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about signing distributors, and I'm going to let Haley take over for the first part because she's going to be talking to Madeline, who has been killing it right now. Yep, I have it on speaker view. So she's going to be talking to Madeline, who's been killing it right now, and just kind of like picking your brain for everything that she's been doing because Madeline's super new. So Haley, I'm going to let you take over.
Okay, so I have questions already written for her, but if you have any more questions, drop them in the chat and we'll go over those afterwards. When did you start? Madeline, you need to unmute yourself. Can she?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when did you start? I think it was 2 months ago?
Yeah, 2 months ago.
Yeah. So, first, do you know how many distributors and loyal customers you've signed? Or like an average?
I think like 20-something loyal customers, and then my first month I signed 5 distributors, but I think I have like 7 now.
Yeah,
7,
somewhere around there. Okay, so my first question is, what is your why and what drives you, or what drives your success to succeed with this business?
Well, my why is because I'm like a super young mom. I got pregnant at 19, and my boyfriend, he makes a lot of money, but honestly, like, he's really stingy with it. And so I just wanted like my own money to like spoil like my baby girl and like just have my own thing and stay at home too, because I want to be a stay-at-home mom. I don't want to put her like with other people, because I'm a new mom and it makes me nervous, like other people watching her. But I didn't know how I was gonna make money like doing that, so I decided to join, and that's my why. Is basically her.
Okay, so I didn't tell you this question earlier, but it just came to my mind. Did you have the $99 when you wanted to start?
No. I literally had to babysit these awful kids because I wanted to like do it so bad. I had to babysit 4 kids at one time and with my baby for like a whole week just to like have the $99 to start. Like, it was hard, but I wanted it so bad, and my boyfriend wouldn't pay for it because he was like, no, like, I'm not paying for that. And so yeah, I had to babysit to save up the money
Yeah.
to do it.
So that goes to show if somebody wants it bad enough, they're going to find the money. So literally, Madeline messaged me, I want to say it was it like a week or 2 before you got started?
Yeah, like a week.
Yeah. And you were like, I want to get started. What do I have to do? And, we get messages like that a lot. So, like, obviously I didn't know if you were really going to start or not, but you were like, okay, I'll have the money at the end of this week. I'm just going to babysit this weekend. And I was like, okay. And sure enough, you really did that. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you remember what post I made or like that you just saw in general, even if it wasn't me, that made you want to start like working from home or do this business or whatever?
Yeah, like, I've been following you on Facebook for like over a year, and I just like watched you like grow basically. And I was like, I don't know if that's like legit, because I see like a lot of scams online. But then like I just felt like you're like a real person, like, I just like connected with you. And so that's like kind of what made me want to join.
What do you think you related with me most about? Was it like being a mom or?
Yeah, like you being a mom and like taking care of your girls, and like whenever like I saw you like quit your job and stuff, like I was following you then, but I never like commented or liked anything.
That's crazy.
Like,
well, I quit last April, I think. So like it's definitely been over a year. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so that just literally goes to show you and I talked. I know we've messaged like back and forth over the years or a year or however long it was. But I don't think you ever told me that you were interested in the business. Like, I don't think we ever talked about that until you said you were ready. So that's like really cool. Like, cause you don't really know who's watching you. Like, that really just goes to show like somebody could be watching you and like they want to start, but they're like waiting for the right time. So, and also something that I like to like bring up is to like think about what made you want to start with your enroller and like do that, like post about the same things or go live about the same things or whatever. So kind of like people are going to want to join you for the same reason that you wanted to start. So I love hearing that. That's awesome. Okay, so the other question was how many DTs you signed your first month, and you said 5. So you literally boxed yourself for Ruby your first month, so that's awesome. Are you doing self-development?
Yeah, actually, at first I wasn't. Like, I didn't even know what that was until we did the push. And I started listening to Audible, Girl, Go Wash Your Face. And it's so good. Like, it has me in my feelings, but it also, like, motivates me and stuff. And I also, like, write to myself every day, like, what I'm gonna do. Like, oh, I'm gonna be diamond. Like, I'm gonna go on trips all the time, like, stuff like that.
I
Like,
love that.
that just acts like it's happening.
Yeah, so basically you're manifesting what you want.
Yeah.
So, when you first heard about self-development, what did you think about it? Like, were you like, oh yeah, I totally need to do this, or
No,
were you kind of
honestly,
hesitant?
I was like,
Yeah.
this is kind of stupid.
Yeah,
But
it's
then
weird
I
at
started
first, right?
doing it. Yeah, I started doing it and I saw like a lot started changing and like just
Yeah.
like my mood, you know, like just being more positive about like things. Even if
Yeah.
I'm having a crappy day, it just made me feel better.
Yeah, I love that. Because I think we're literally all like that. I did not do self-development for probably a year, honestly, if not close to it. Like the beginning, like we didn't talk too much about self-development when I first started, but like I guess we kind of did it. We did like motivational videos on YouTube and stuff like that. We weren't really listening to audibles. But like when it first became like a huge thing on the team, I was like so resistant because I was like, I don't need that. And I don't read books. I don't like doing that kind of stuff. But like seriously, I think I started doing it right before I went Emerald, and then I went Diamond and Double. So I think it's super powerful. Um, so how are you posting to attract DTs? What do you feel like you're normally posting when people come to you wanting to join?
Okay, well, basically, everything I do, like if I go out somewhere, I post about it. If I go shopping, I post about it, and I just post about like how like big of a blessing this is gonna be for me and my family, and just like how excited I am about it, you know. And I always just try to stay like constant, like on my stories and stuff, and just like go, like, you know, just stay constant with everything, and just like show everybody like how blessed we're gonna be.
Yeah, so would you say like you're doing kind of like you're showing kind of where you came from and where you're going with the business, like you're showing your goals and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And of course you're showing like that you're about to hit your promotion. I see you posting about your fast starts and like pretty much every milestone you're posting about all of that.
Yeah, like
Um,
even when I get like an LC, I usually like post like what I'm
yeah,
doing, and then like I'll like screenshot the email and then like crop it and like post like,
yeah,
you know, like my baby girl and then like the LC, so people like know that like you're actually doing something.
yeah. People want to see results.
Yeah.
Do you work you work Instagram more? Do you work both?
Instagram more, just I guess it's like my like I'm a little bit younger, you know,
Yeah.
and so like I was like kind of always loved Instagram. Like my school like is kind of weird, but all the girls are about Instagram and stuff, so I kind of connect with that more, and I really want to get better at Facebook because I'm awful at it, but Instagram's doing pretty good right now.
Yeah, your Instagram is awesome. What is your name on Instagram if they want to look you up?
Madeline Taylor 9. It's just
Okay.
like my name and then 9.
Okay.
That was like I played volleyball in high school, so it was like my number.
Okay. Yeah. Her Instagram is really good. So if y'all want to see what hers look like, just to see like how she's posting and doing her stories and stuff, y'all can do that. So what are your conversations normally like with potential distributors?
Usually I don't when I first started, I cold message like a lot, but usually like I'll like if they have like a cute song on their story or something, like I'm like, oh my god, I love this song, or I love your outfit, like where'd you get it from? And usually like I start from there, and then like we'll like keep our conversation going, and then I'll like bring it up like, oh, what do you do? It's usually like a lot of college girls because I'm young, and so
Mm-hmm.
all the people on my Instagram like want extra money because they're broke college students.
Yeah. So, do you, is that how you're reaching out, is through stories, or are you like messaging people who like your post, or?
Both. Usually, like, I know it sounds crazy, but like, usually every time like someone likes my post, I'll message them or like, thank you so much for like giving my page some love, or you know, like something
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Yes, that's how I do it as well. Um, Are you working attraction marketing?
Like,
attracting people to come to you now? Because I know you said you were doing you were cold messaging before, but now you're kind of attracting them to come to you now? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people have started coming to me. Like, at first I was having the cold message, and honestly I hated it, but I knew that's like what I needed to do at first,
But that's
now,
how
like,
you
a
were
lot of
signing people at first, right?
Yeah, but now, like, a lot of people are starting to come to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like once you're like building your brand and you're putting yourself out there more and more, you're more visible. So it's a lot easier to not have to message as much, and you'll have more people coming to you because now they know you. Do you get turned down when you talk to people about the business?
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
At
would
first
you
it hurt my
say what?
At first it hurt my feelings, but I was like, oh, whatever. Like, honestly, one of the girls that I signed completely ignored me, and now she's a DT. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Would you say, like, you might not know your success rate yet because you've only been in for 2 months, but like, what would you say, like, majority of people that you talk to about the business turn you down at first?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I just want everybody to know that's super normal. So, like she said, it's like so easy to get discouraged and like get your feelings hurt when people say no, or like they like ignore you at first, but like you really just kind of have to have a thick skin about it and know that like you've planted that seed now, and those people are going to come back later because you're going to consistently be posting, and they're going to see stuff, and something's going to spark, like trigger a thought in their head, and they're going to be like, okay, maybe I could do this too. And I know that's how it was for me, because I'm just like she said, I was watching my enroller for like probably at least a year. And then she posted something one day, and I was like, okay, I'm doing it. And I literally messaged her and I started immediately. So that happens a lot. And it's just really important to not get discouraged just because one person tells you no or turns you down. What do you think has been one of the biggest things that has helped you be successful in such a short amount of time?
Like I said earlier, just like saying like consistent, like every day, and like just showing like what I'm doing throughout the day and stuff. Basically, and just like follow-ups. A lot of my LCs have came from follow-ups. So I always like write them down in a notebook and then come back to them at the end of the week.
All right. Distributors, are you signing them? Are you following up with them also, or are you signing a lot of them when you talk to them first?
A lot of them, honestly, when I talk to them first, I've had like 1 or 2 that they were like, oh, I don't know. And then like a week or 2 later, I'm like, hey, girl, like, you still interested? And then usually they'll say yes. Sometimes they
I
say
love
no,
that.
but
That's awesome. Okay, so since you're so good with Instagram, I seriously love your profile. Like I said, if y'all haven't checked out her Instagram, I would. What is your best advice? I know you're just kind of natural at it because like that's just your generation, but like what is like your best advice if somebody wants to be better with Instagram and they want to reach like a community like you where you're already good at Instagram? What would you recommend for them?
always like at least post like 2 to 3 times a week, because if not, then you're not gonna pop up on anybody's feed. Like,
Yeah.
and comment like on everyone that you see, like their posts. Like, I always comment and like interact, because if you don't interact, then you're not gonna get any likes, because you're not gonna. That's just how Instagram works. You're not gonna pop up on their feed if Instagram doesn't see that y'all are not like interactive, then you just won't pop up on their feed, and so no one sees your posts.
Yeah. Do you use presets?
Yes, actually, there's this girl on Instagram. Y'all should go follow her. Her name's Alexa Jean, and she makes like, I use Lightroom, and I just bought like one of her packages. It was a little bit more. It was $20, but I like love her filters. It came with 5 of them, and I like that a lot. It's
Are
like
they
very
5
airy.
of like are they like different colors, or are they like kind of all the same one just for
They're kind
different?
of like all the same thing, like.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I'm so obsessed with her. I think she's so pretty. Like, I just love her page, and I wanted my page to kind of like look like that, so I used her
I'm
filter.
looking her up now.
But you can get like really cheap ones, I think, on like Etsy and stuff. I didn't know that until y'all said that, and I was like, crap, I spent $20.
I saw some people on Instagram that were selling their presets, and they were like $30 to $50, and I was like, oh, I am not paying that for a preset. And then
Yeah.
I don't know if Ashley had said something about Etsy presets or Katie or somebody. And then I went to Etsy and I was like, they're only $3. Actually, one of my favorite ones that I had before the one I have now was $1, and it was like actually a pretty decent one. So yeah. Okay, is it Alexa Jean Brown?
Yes.
Okay,
She's
yeah,
like a
she's super
mom. She
cute.
had a baby. Yeah,
Yeah,
she has a really good feed.
love
She
it.
also is like a fitness. I don't know. She's like a fitness
Yeah.
coach.
Okay, I'm gonna put her name in the in case y'all want to look her up also. Would you say that you for Instagram? Would you say that you like do you like look at other bloggers or like look at certain profiles and you kind of like mimic what they do to know how to use your Instagram?
Yeah, Alexa's. I like hers a
Yeah.
lot. And then I forgot what her name is. She lives in Atlanta, and I used to live there, and everybody talked about her. And so I follow her, and I don't remember. Let me see.
That's smart.
And I just like look at her page, and I'm like, oh my god, I get like ideas like inspired by her.
Yeah, I know you messaged me one day about how to edit your picture a certain way, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've never even seen that. But I'm guessing you saw it from another blogger.
Yes, the like the arts and stuff.
Yeah.
I do like PixArt. I'm still trying to learn how to do it, but like you can like change your outfits, like Gucci belts. Like I don't know, it's so cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Definitely
can't
didn't know
explain
that.
it, but you know what I'm talking about. Like you can put, like
Yeah.
ice cream cone, it looks like a cartoon, but then like the rest of your picture is like you. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
That's cool. We might have to have you do an Instagram training one day. Is there any other questions y'all have for her? I don't really have any. I think that was all the ones I had. She is super bomb with Instagram, and I know a lot of people struggle with Instagram if they're not used to Instagram like she is. So what is that app? What did you say? PixArt?
Yeah, PixArt. It's kind of hard to like figure out at first. It took me like a couple hours to like mess around with it, but that's what I use like for everything. I know y'all use
Oh,
something else. I forgot what it's called, but for like the watermark, I think that's what y'all use.
what?
Yeah,
I think I used Typorama for watermark.
yeah,
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
I use PixArt, and I don't know. I
Oh,
kind of
for
like
the email?
I just take a
Oh.
picture and then I crop it and then I add it to it.
Oh, does that app
Yeah.
cost you? Remember?
I think it was like $6.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is there anything else you can think of, Ashley?
No, I have a few things to say about like what she was saying though. But wait, Pixar is Typorama. Is that only an iPhone app or is that also an Android app? Does anyone on here have Android and have Typorama? Because that might be a really good solution.
I have that, and I just downloaded it, so I have Android, and you can get it on
Okay.
Android.
Okay, for a second I was thinking it wasn't an Android friendly app, and so I was like, oh shoot, that's probably like a really good alternative is Pixar. Okay, thank you. Okay, so the
Yeah.
thing that I want to like say that I really like that she said is that people follow and people watch you. Okay, even if they're not liking your posting, even if you know maybe you end your post with a call to action and you're trying to say like, okay, comment or drop an emoji or message me, you know, and we'll get your site income started. Whatever it is that you're ending your like business post with, and you're like, okay, well, if they're interested, they'd be messaging me, but why are my messages like dead right now? Nobody really ever messages off of that. Okay. Like, I mean, you can say it and some people will, or some people will comment, but most of the time people are watching you and you just don't know it. Like Haley didn't even know that Madeline was like watching her and like watching her journey for that long. And so that's just, I just want you to know that right now, even though you feel like maybe you feel like you're in a spot where you're like, well, why am I not sending potentials? Why am I not like, nobody's coming to me? Why is this? Why is that? Just know that you have to stay so consistent. Cause I know that when you go through a time of like, okay, well, shoot, I haven't signed anyone this month, or I haven't signed anyone in a couple weeks. Like, no, that's like, yeah, we need to fix that. But I also know that that can be so easy for you to be like, well, I don't feel like posting today because I'm frustrated with my business and I don't want to do this. And, you know, you're kind of like, what's the point? People are watching you. And that is the sole reason of why we talk about consistency is key. Okay. So you have to stay really consistent. And another thing that she said was that when she joined, she like related to Haley, and like she watched Haley quit her job. She watched Haley do this. Haley was a mom that got to work from home. So it's so important to be you, okay? People are not buying into the business exactly, and they're not exactly buying into the products either. They're buying into you. They have to connect to you. They have to feel like they know you. They have to feel like they like you or trust you before they're going to join with you. And don't go looking left and right at like, oh, well, this girl does this and I'm not into that. So like she's attracting these people because she does that. You are your own person, and there's something so special about that you are going to bring the right people to, you know, like your vibe attracts your tribe kind of a thing. Like say that Haley and I were both on someone's timeline. Like we're both on their like friends list for some reason, and they're watching both of us. That person might relate to me more, or they might relate to Haley more. And them like relating to either Haley and I more as like a personal level and not like it works like products and business in their face kind of level. That is what it's a difference between like them joining with Haley or them joining with me. Do you guys get what I mean? Like it's so important to be you, and to like, you know, you don't join It Works and then just have It Works blasted all over the place. You don't get all spammy. It's so important to learn to be you, to show you, to do lifestyle posting, and then have bits and pieces of the business and the product in between. Like think of it as like if it was a show, like your life is a TV show, the things that you like. Yeah, exactly. That's what Madeline's doing right now to get her people right now too. She's doing exactly what she was doing that Haley got, the whole like attraction marketing, being yourself, and people are coming to her because she is being herself and she's not just It Works. So like I was saying, like think of your life as a show, and then the commercials are like bits and pieces of like It Works, like a business post or showing where you're working from or showing that you got a customer or showing yourself using the products. Like think of it like that. So you want 70% to be you, and then the other 30% to be lifestyle and business. And that doesn't mean, okay, wait, I posted a business post today, now I'm going to wait 5 days and do it again. You have to be consistent, as in the fact of like you're posting about the products or the business daily, but you also have to make sure that you are showing you and throwing your life in there in between all of that. You can say something, Haley. Are you muted? Wait, okay.
Didn't want to cut you off. Okay, so I don't want to embarrass you, Madeline, but I have to bring this up now. She said this. So during the push, we had the, I think it was like the daily task to go live. Okay. Madeline was terrified to go live, like legit terrified. She went live and legit freaked out. And, she still did it. So like how many days did you go live in a row? Like 3 times?
Yeah, 3 times.
At least.
It got better each time, but I was like literally shaking. Like, oh my God. I guess because like everyone on my Instagram, like I know them, and it just like I was like, oh my God. I texted my friend and I was like, how freaking stupid did I sound?
But even though she was scared, it's kind of like anything else in the business, because I'm sure you didn't want a cold message in the beginning. I'm sure sometimes you don't want to message at all. I'm sure sometimes you don't want to post certain things because you feel weird about it, but like you literally still did it because you are literally like, I remember when you started, you told me you were going to do whatever it took to make the money that you needed for you and your daughter. And I seriously love that mindset and that attitude, because that's why you are 130 BB from Ruby right now, and you are super close to being boxed for Emerald, because like literally you have no excuses. So I love that.
Yes, no, I love that. Didn't you say that she like saw people get on and just like got off?
Yeah, she just ended it just out of nowhere.
I love that.
I didn't think anybody was gonna watch me, and then I looked at my views and I was like, oh.
Like, abort, we gotta get out of here. This is so bad. Okay, no, it's so funny, but that's growing. That's so good. It's all about like you push yourself out of your comfort zone to join this, and you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone constantly to get to where you want to be. It's normal. That's how it is in this. But okay, another thing I want to point out is rank does not matter. Okay, like she is about to go Ruby like any day now. She's 2 months in. She signed a ton of customers. She's been doing attraction marketing. She's been signing a bunch of distributors right now, and it's like, I think that a lot of people focus on, well, I'm not a ruby, I'm not a diamond, I'm not this, I'm not that, how am I going to attract people in? That has nothing to do with it, okay? When you are new or when you don't have a huge success under you, it is all about your goals. I think that she even mentioned that, like she's talking about her goals, she's talking about where she's going, and it's being confident with that. And it's like, you might not be there yet, but people want to join someone who has, like, they know where they're going, they have a vision. You're not just sitting here not doing anything, like you know where you're going and you have confidence, and that's what people are going to join. Okay. Okay, so
Can I add something to that also?
go ahead.
I like how you said that rank doesn't matter also, because literally she's not Ruby yet and she's probably averaging what a Ruby makes because of her fast start bonuses. So
Yes, no, that's a really good point, is that she probably is. I didn't really think about that. So that's a bomb. Okay, so I know that somebody has asked questions about building relationships. We can get more into posting. If you guys want us to get more into posting on this Zoom, you can put that in the chat. But I wrote out notes to talk about like building relationships and things like that, because I know that there was a question asked about that. And I feel like a lot of Zooms, they focus on like, you know, the posting and about this and about that and like what to post, but it's not always about like the building relationships and like the conversation side of it. So I kind of want to go over that. And if you guys have anything that you want to talk about, whether it's story or posting or anything, put it in the chat. We can add that into the Zoom, but I've got this that we're going to go over. Okay, so building relationships. Who has their hundreds list printed? Have you guys ever printed your hundreds list, or have any of you ever worked a hundreds list? Put it in the chat, whether you have or not. I need water. I should have gotten a water. Okay, yes, yes, no, yes, yes. Okay, so if you have never worked a hundreds list and you don't have a hundreds list, you can print it off. I mean, you can write it, honestly, like you can write it on a piece of paper, or if you want to print it off, we have a, in the files tab of the Dreamcatchers, we have a, wow, what are words? Hundreds list that you can print off and you can fill it out. And so what a hundreds list is it's just got a bunch of names, or it's got 100 blank spots on it, and basically you put the people who you either, you know, they'd either be interested in the products or people who you want on your team. You don't just put like anybody. You get picky about this, okay? Like who, because these are going to be the people that you focus on with building relationships. Like who do you want on your team? Like, do you want this girl who has like ugly posting, is drama, is like ratchet? I hate that word, but that's the only word I can use to describe anything when I'm doing Zooms. Or do you want the girl who's already got good posting, or maybe she's positive, or maybe you guys have already connected before? You know, you want to put those people on your hundreds list, because these are the people that you're going to interact with, that you're going to pay attention to, and that you're going to build relationships with. And it's like the law of attraction, okay? Like you're building relationships with these people, and they're just naturally like, when I first joined, I worked that thing to a T, and there were so many people on that list that I had signed while going Ruby, while going Emerald, while going Diamond, before I even had that huge success, because I was all over that thing, building relationships. I was talking to people. I didn't have a huge success under me, but I was talking about where I was going, and that just helped me to move so quickly. Jamie, it says that your hand is up. Did you want to say something about that, or?
No, I was going to elaborate. When you were talking about people watching multiple people, we had a bit of an issue with some people adding people, encroaching on friends lists, and you kept saying people can approach, people can be watching two people. I didn't want people to get the mistake of, oh, well, let me just go follow all her people because she's bomb-ass at Instagram. So I wanted people to understand there's still a boundary there. But just so if you see somebody on their friends list, don't add them. But it's still good that they're watching multiple people because they're getting to know the business. Blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Okay, so I totally wasn't saying like add each other's friends list or anything like that. Like you don't want that, because we all want our own networks and people our own like pool of potentials. But I was just giving that as a metaphor for like, say some other chick and you are on somebody's like friends list. Yeah. Okay. Good point. Shoot. 1 second. Sorry. Okay. So I'm going to show you. Okay. So that's how I do the hundreds list for Facebook. Sorry, I don't know how to stop texting on my phone, and it's super annoying, but I have my phone muted right now. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how I work a hundreds list on my Instagram, because I use a hundreds list of like on paper. I use that for my Facebook. I have like a clipboard that has hundreds list for it. But then when I am doing Instagram, how I stay like organized with people, because I feel like on Instagram it can get so easy when you have so many followers or so many people that you're following. It can get easy to like get lost in that. I'm going to show you guys what I do. So say that you, okay. So say that I was talking to this chick about the business, okay? There, you can go to their profile, and down at the bottom, you can click that, and that'll save it. And then the little save to collections pops up at the bottom of the photo, and you can do save to. And I have July PDT, hundreds list, posting ideas like inspiration. But for this, you can do a little, let me see, where am I at on this? You do a plus sign, and then you can name it PDT, just like that. And then you're gonna save it, and then boom. Whenever I'm talking to anyone, if they reply to my stories, if I message them on Instagram, because I've been liking my business posts, whatever, and we talk about the business, then I go to their profile and I save a picture of theirs. And then like this girl today, I was talking to her about the business. So I'm gonna add her to my PDT list. That little thing pops up. I've got my PDT list on there. I click on it, boom, she's saved there. This will help you to keep up with that. Or if I have one for hundreds list also. And this is when I'm scrolling or when I'm like following new people or I'm getting new followers. If I like the girl's page, then I'll make sure that she goes on my hundreds list so I don't forget about her, because it can get lost. You know, you're talking to so many different people. And how you find that to keep up with it is you go on your profile, and then you're going to click the little 3 lines up top, and then you're going to click on the little saved icon, and it's going to bring, I have like decor, I have a bunch of different things, but it'll bring it up. You'll have your PDT list, you'll have your hundreds list, and then it just brings the photo that you saved. Do you see how I'm like, now I'm working my hundreds list like that? Because when I do go, like I interact by either commenting on things on your newsfeed, which you should be doing, or replying to stories that people have on Facebook or Instagram, which you should be doing. Or I go to my hundreds list or my PDT list, and I click on a photo, and then you can click on their name, and then it'll bring you to their profile. I see if they did another post, and they did it. If it hasn't been a few days, like if it's been like recent within like the past 24 hours, then I comment on it or something like that. So that's how I'm working my hundreds list. Or I'll click on their story if it has a ring around it, and I'll reply to their story. So just in the same way, like if you were working your hundreds list on Facebook, you know, you have your paper, you go, you search for that person, and you can go like comment on their stuff. That's how I'm doing it for Instagram. Is I'm saving it as a collection or whatever. What is it called? Saving it? I'm just saving it, and then I'm putting it in a collection, and I have a PDT if I've talked to them about the business. And then if I want them on my team or whatever, I have a hundreds list. And then if I've talked to them about products, I put them in a PLC. So does that make sense to you guys? Do you need me to repeat that? Because that works super bomb with keeping up and like knowing how to like follow up with people. I mean, another thing that I do is I just have a list, and I just put like their Instagram handle on my list. So if you're not doing that, you need to be doing that, because that is like night and day for why you're not seeing like results with getting distributors. Is you're not interacting with people aren't getting a feel for you, and you're not building relationships. Another way for building relationships is commenting and interacting, like I just said. So what I do if I'm on I've been working my Instagram more, but I do the same thing if I'm on my Facebook. When I'm going down my Instagram, I'm either liking a photo, or if it's something that I can comment on it really easy, then I'm commenting on it. And when I comment on it, I try to do like 4 to 6 plus like words on it. So it's like something real. If they go somewhere, I'll be like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Where did you go? You know, like I ask a question to get them commenting back. Or if they post a photo of their child and it's in like some super cute outfit, I'll be like, oh my God, she looks so cute. Like, where did you get that outfit? Like I comment as if I was talking to a friend. Okay. You don't just want to be like, cute, adorable, you're so pretty. Like things like that. You want to be real, and you want to make it so it's actually like connecting you guys together. Okay, another thing is messaging off of people's stories. So what you do when you're messaging off of people's stories, like I think that somebody had put in the chat today that they don't want to message people randomly. They don't know what to say to people. A really easy way to message people to build relationships on their story or in messages and not just comments is going to their stories and just finding something that you can reply to the same way that you would comment on something and replying to it to get a conversation going, whether you're asking them where they went or whether you're saying something's like funny or you're voting on their poll or you're saying something back to whatever they're doing. Does that make sense to you guys? Does anyone need me to elaborate on that? Like, that's such an easy way to be able to interact with somebody off of messages, or get those, if you're trying to send 20 messages building relationships a day, do that off of your stories. It's so easy. It's just all right there. And then by interacting on their stories and interacting in their comments and stuff, you actually get into their feed more, which you're like, they're seeing you more, which is also what helps you to sign them, because they're actually like paying attention to you now, because you're like all over their feed, because you interacting with them and then talking back to you shows Instagram or shows Facebook that they like what you have, they want to see more of what you're doing, you guys are connected, you guys are friends. And so that is why building relationships is so important, because they're actually seeing your content more. Okay, so for reaching out, I feel like a lot of people get weird. They don't know how to reach out. Or I was talking to someone the other day, and she's talking about how she's not signing distributors right now. And we were talking about, kind of like what she's doing. And we realized that like she's posting, but she's not messaging people who are liking the post, okay? So I just want to make this clear. Posting about the business is not asking. Posting about the products is not asking. So if somebody is liking your post, if somebody is commenting on your post, you need to be messaging them, whether it's about a product and you're just like seeing if they, hey girl, saw you commented on my skinny mocha post or whatever, whatever. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but whether you're messaging them to like ask them if they were interested or just being super sweet, like you have to be doing that. Let me show, or I'm going to share with you guys like a typical message of what I do. Whenever someone likes my business post, I send, hey girl, I noticed you've been liking a few of my posts about what I do for work. Dude, what do I say? Trying to think. Now that I'm trying to like say it to you guys, I'm like, what do I even say? Okay, I noticed you've been liking a few of my posts about what I do for work. I wasn't sure if you were just being sweet and supportive, or if you could use the extra income. So I had to ask. So you can save this. This is like something that I would typically send to somebody who's been liking my business post, because like I said, posting is not asking. So you have to be messaging those people who are liking it, because, like I said earlier, whether you say, I have 5 spots open and like message me, or if you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, like message me, those people still won't message you. And sometimes you'll message them because they're nervous, because like they're afraid of like saying something and then feeling like they're like trapped into a conversation where they have to join. It's all just really uncomfortable. And so they're not always going to reach out to you. Think about like how you felt, like maybe when you were watching the person that you joined with, you didn't message them off the first post that you saw, and that like, maybe it was in the back of your mind, but it took you a second to really talk to them, or maybe they even messaged you first, like you've been watching them, but maybe they messaged you first about it. And so I just say, hey girl, I noticed you've been liking a few of my posts about what I do for work. I wasn't sure if you were just being sweet and supportive, or if you could use the extra income. So I just had to ask. For one, this gives them a chance. If they're just being supportive, I don't get down when people are like, oh no, I'm just being supportive. I do not let that bother me. I put them in my 100s list or my PDT list, because just having that one conversation with them, it's like planting seeds, okay? Like think of it as like, you're planting seeds, and like the whole, like you have a harvest, and like when you have a harvest, and like you start signing a lot of distributors, that can be, when we have huge promotions happening, like you want to plant all these seeds, and then when the big promotions come, whether it's like, discounted kits, or whether it's like a new bonus that comes up, or it's, February and it's a new season, then you have so many people to follow up with and like get onto your team. And that's how you see people mass enrolling distributors. It's because they've planted so many different seeds of talking to people once, twice, or like, talking to people for a while. And then when these things come, it's just like they follow up with them, and it's just like, bam, 5 distributors right there. And so, but at the same time, if they were just liking your post because they think it's cute, or they're just being supportive, whatever, and they didn't actually know what it was about, like they didn't actually read the content, the fact that you're putting, wasn't sure if you could just use the extra income, now they're like, wait, money? And so then maybe they go to your profile and then they start reading your stuff, or maybe they are actually interested in making money, or now they're going to start to pay attention to you off of that, just because. Does that make sense? Somebody talk to me in the chat. I want to make sure this is like making sense with you guys, of like why it's important to reach out.
Word.
Jamie's here. We're good. Okay, so that's why it's super important. You should not be posting about the business without messaging the people who are liking it, because if you're not talking to new people about the business every single day, that's why you're not signing people, okay? Okay, so Haley, do you have anything to add to any of that? No? Okay. So another thing I kind of want to talk about is like talking about the business, because I feel like so many people, they get lost in their conversations, or they're just not feeling confident, or they don't know what to say. And so I kind of just want to go over that. Okay. So if you have questions on like what to say or where you feel like you're going wrong when you are talking to a potential distributor, put that in the chat so I can even like help you with that. But okay, so when you're talking to a potential about the business, and that you ask them if they're interested, or maybe they reach out to you and go like, hey, what do you do for work? You want to give them a small snippet of like what you do for work. So Haley, I'm going to send you my text of like what I say, and then you can just put it into the chat, please. So I'm going to show you. They're super simple. I basically have the same conversation over and over again. It just little parts get changed depending on who I'm talking to, and like side conversation that happens in it, or like some of the things that they say back to me. So when I am explaining the business, I haven't fixed this part for my word board, so now I have to edit it real fast. Products. Oh, I thought you were about to say something. I share the company's products. People become
I have mine in text replacement if you just want me to put mine.
Okay, wait, this is, I always edit this one part. I just haven't edited it for my word board yet, so I just had to fix that part. Okay, so when I'm talking to someone, this is basically like the little snippet that I give them every single time that I'm talking to them. Put it. Hey, let's about to put it in the chat. What? Okay, I'm gonna read it. So it says, okay, so basically all I do is I work on social media as a business owner with It Works. I share our company's products, people become interested in them, and when they're ready to order, I send them my link. This is how I make commissions and bonuses. I've been doing this for 2 years now, and I absolutely love it. It's so much fun, and the pay is so good once you get it going. I've paid off $12,000 in credit card debt from this, and it's done so much good for my daughters and I. Are you on social media a lot already? And so you can use this as an outline, but edit it to fit you, okay? Like, you haven't been in for 2 years, you haven't paid off $12,000 in debt. Like, edit it for you and what it's done for you. Or if you're really new, or maybe it hasn't done a lot for you yet, talk about your goals, okay? That is, so you say where you are right off the bat. Yeah. Oh, for It Works. Yeah. Don't be embarrassed of it. Like, don't feel like you have to hide it from them. I feel like that's like, some people feel like they don't want to say that they're doing It Works. And as long as you're just like, yeah, dude, I'm a business owner with It Works, yada, yada, yada. And then you have to just be so confident. Okay. One thing is, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Like, you can't say It Works to the right person who's going to join, and like they're not going to be like, oh, it works. Like, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. So that means like you can't really mess up what you're saying. If somebody's going to join your team, they're going to join. If they're into it, they're into it. Please stop 1 second. And then if somebody's just not into it and they're not the right person for your team, no matter what you say, you're not going to get them to join. Okay. So don't stress over what you say, and just know that the right people are going to come. What's up? Okay.
I do curiosity marketing. So I never say It Works, like, ever, unless they ask what company I'm with. But like she said, like, it literally doesn't matter. If you're talking to the right person, they'll join whether you say It Works or not. So I do like that she said that.
Yeah. Okay. So we always want curiosity. You want curiosity in your posting, because like when you're posting, somebody could see, It Works or whatever MLM that you're like with, and they could judge right off the bat. It's not just about It Works. It could be like, if we were in a different MLM right now, it'd be the same thing. And so it's like they could judge right off the bat. And so you want that curiosity because you want them to be drawn in by your posting. And then that's when in the conversation, Oh. And then that's when in the conversation you can, talk about it. But in your posting, yeah, I don't sit there and say it works, like all over the place, because you want to have that curiosity that draws them in, where they're like, what business are you doing? What is this? It sounds amazing. Because some people can hear it works or another company and automatically just not even care what you have to say in the business post anymore, and they don't even care how amazing it could be just because that, like, they heard something, so that's why you want curiosity in your posting. But when you're talking to them, you talk to them. So I ask them if they're on social media a lot already. You always want to end just like how what M word? Yeah, MLM. Just like how when you're talking to a customer, you want to lead the conversation, you want to be in control, you want to end with the question of like, does that sound good to you? How much weight do you want to lose? Just like that, you want to end your conversation with the distributor the same way. So on my next thing, I ask them, are they on social media a lot already? And usually everyone is, because let's be real, everyone is. So I say, awesome, that's perfect then, because I do everything off my social media. Facebook and Instagram are my best friends when it comes to this, and I love that I can easily fit it into my busy schedule. I did this so easy around being a college student, single parent, and working. And now that my girls are getting bigger and getting into more sports activities, it makes it 10 times easier versus going to a job. So if you're busy like I am, you'll be fine. How much extra a month would help you out? And so with doing this, I make them realize that, yes, you're already on social media. Like, why not turn that into like making money instead of scrolling? Number two, I'm like getting rid of their fears of like, okay, nobody can tell me that they're too busy for this business, because I have the most hectic schedule. And I'm not trying to make myself sound better than anybody else, but I'm literally, my life was a shit show when I joined, okay? And I made it work because I needed to, because I was so unhappy and my why was huge. And so I made it work. And so that's why I talk about, I fit this in between being a college student, single parent, and working. Like, so that already, if people start to get that, I'm too busy for this, that's when I'm like, dude, I thought I was too busy, and that's why it took me 6 months to join. So I like to talk about some of the fears that people are naturally going to have when they, like, what's going to stop them from joining. And then after that, like, they tell me how much money would help them out, and they probably say something else. Like I said, it's not always so cookie cutter of these messages. There is other side conversation, or I do send voice messages in between this, but this is like a basic gist of what I do. And so, they talk about how much money would help them out, whether, it's a couple hundred, or whether, they want to make thousands of dollars, or whether they want to work from home. I make sure that people know that this business can literally be anything that you want it to be. So I don't put limits on anyone. Whatever they want, that's literally, they can make it happen, because we've seen it happen in other people and in ourselves in this business. So then I say, so I'll be completely honest, my first paycheck was $175, and it kept doubling and doubling after that. 2 months in, I was making an extra $350 a month, and just a couple short months after that, I was able to quit my job. If you're a hard worker, I'll show you step by step how to work this, but I just wanted to be upfront about how it won't happen in your first month. Are you willing to learn from me and do that until you reach your goal? So another thing, I mentioned this because I stay away from, it's so easy, it's so simple, because I don't want to sign people who are going to come in and think that they don't have to work for this. Okay. I don't want to sign people who are going to be like, oh, I've done an hour of work, I'm doing like bare ass minimal. Where's my money at? You know what I mean? I want them to know that, like, yeah, you don't start out making thousands of dollars right away. And like, but that's okay, because you have to build this up. I don't want somebody who's going to come in for a month, not see $1,000 paycheck, and then get pissed off and quit. I want to be real and upfront with them that, hey, just so you know, you're not going to make thousands right away, but this, like, when people ask me about income, I tell them that it depends on them, okay? Like, because it fully depends on you. If you want to make $500, if you want to go Ruby next month, girl, go Ruby next month. If you want to go Diamond by the end of this year, girl, go Diamond. You just have to make it happen, okay? And so that's how I talk with my people who I'm signing. I'm not afraid to talk about the income. I'm not afraid to talk about that it works. Does that make sense? Another thing, okay, so after that, they're usually like, yes. And either, sometimes they have questions and they'll ask things, and I'll, voice message back and I'll reply to it. I like to be as real as possible. So I love sending voice messages because people appreciate that. And at first I'm super awkward. So at first I was just like, oh my God. So I'd like mess up, click X, and then I'd like redo it. But I learned that you don't have to be perfect when you're talking to these people. I was literally talking to a girl last night, and I was playing a board game with my girls, and on the voice thing, or when I was sending her a voice message about like what we do and stuff like that, or answering one of her questions, the girls were starting to go, and I'm real competitive. And so I was like, no, what are you doing? Like, wait, give me a minute, just give me a minute. And I was like, sorry, I'm competitive. My girls and I are playing a board game right now. And I put that on the voice message and I sent it to her. And it's like, that just shows like I'm doing the business. I get to be home with my girls and I'm being real. And that is real life of like working right next to my babies, you know? So you don't have to be like, if that intimidates you to do voice texting or sending voice messages, you know, just know that you don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to sound the best. It's like if your baby's crying in the background, just be like, sorry girl, we're having a rough day over here. That's real life, and people eat that shit up because they can relate to that, and you are not trying to be perfect over here. Okay. Okay, so another thing is yeah, they're a game changer. I do voice messages when I'm talking to PLC. I do voice messages when I'm talking to PDT. If I have signed you or if you message me for help, most of the time I'm probably sending you a voice message back. That's my jam. I love it. Okay, so like, does this kind of help you guys in any of your questions that you had about the conversations? Give me like a yes or a no in the chat. And then another thing is I want to talk about the price and how you talk about the price, because I know that so many people get so awkward about the price, and I just want to make this thing. Okay, so when you're talking to a potential, if you're nervous or if you're feeling like, oh my God, I don't want to blow this, like I want to sign this person, no matter what you're saying, it's like the vibes are coming out that like you're not going to sign that person. If you're feeling like desperate when you're talking to them, you like, you know, you got that little like anxious feeling in your like chest of like, oh God, am I going to sign them? Like, is this going to work? Like, I really need this DT. I really need to promote. I really need to make money. Like, if you have that feeling when you're talking to them, like the vibes are naturally, they're just not going to join. Okay. And so when you're talking about the price and you're not being confident, you're talking about the business and you're not being confident, they will not join because they can sense it. Like Katie always says, they're like dogs, like they can sense it. And so you have to like give yourself a deep breath for a second and like fake your confidence. Like if you're not feeling confident, like fake that confidence as if you are a freaking diamond and you know that you're going to sign this DT no matter what. Okay. Because having that confidence and putting those vibes out, that is what's going to help you sign these people. And so when you're talking about the price, be confident with it, dude. It's only $100. People will spend $100 on anything. You can go get your nails done, get a mani-pedi, and that's nearly $100. You can go out for like a nice dinner. That's nearly $100. You know, people spend their money on what they want to spend their money on, okay? And so when I'm talking about price, I don't beat around the bush. So like, you know, if by the end of that message, if I'm like, are you willing to work until you reach your goal or whatever I say at the end of that last message, and they're like, yes, oh my God, this sounds so good. I'm so excited. Like whatever they say, I don't wait for them to ask me the price. I'm like, okay, girl. So, okay, this is what I say. Okay, girl. So people, I don't always say that. So it's only, I always say it's only. I'm like, dude, it's only $99. What are you talking about? You know, like it's 99 bucks. What's that? Okay, so, okay, girl. So it's only $99 to buy your rights to sell. You're going to get a starter kit. No, I don't say kit. You're going to get a starter package, P-A-C-K, let me spell package in the mail with free products for yourself. I'm also going to help you earn a $100 shopping free by the end of this week. And then I say, are you ready? So I say, okay, girl, it's only $99 to buy your rights to sell. You're going to get a starter package in the mail with free products for yourself. I'm also going to help you earn a $100 shopping spree by the end of the week. Are you ready? That's all I say. So that's how I talk about the product price. I'm not nervous about it. I'm not awkward about it. I'm not beating around the bush. Sometimes I've seen when I'm helping people with conversations, sometimes I see like somebody will ask them about the price and then their response is $99. And I'm like, dude, you're not giving them anything. Like, you can't just have, when you're talking to a potential distributor, potential customer, you don't have to send paragraphs, but you can't just have like a one-worded answer, okay? Like, you got to be excited. Like, if you're like talking to them and there's no excitement in your texting, there's no excitement in your voice message, there's just no excitement, why are they going to be excited? If you're not excited about your own business and what it's done for you and what it can do for them, why are they going to be excited about it? Why are they going to want this? Okay, you want to show them what it's done for you, but you want to show them how it's a solution to their problems as well, and how they can fit it in around their crazy schedule. And you know, you're just debunking like all the fears that they do have. I mean, you're sympathizing with them. Like, if they tell me like a fear or something that they have, that's when I send a voice message and I'm like, dude, I know how you feel, okay, because I felt that same way. It took me 6 months to join, yada yada yada. Like, I'm not afraid to talk about how long it took me to join and the fears that I had and like the doubts. So it's just being real with them. You got your own combo. They need to know you're a boss ass bitch. This is real. Yeah, exactly. Yes. And so, and if they do not join on the spot, do not get down. They go on your PDT list and you are on to the next. And honestly, I stopped doing this whole I'm gonna join Friday and hold spots thing. I don't do that anymore. And it works out great. And it feels great to just be like, yeah, no, my spots are gonna be filled by then. Like, having this mentality of like, cool, if you join me, like, I'm so excited to work with you, but also like, this is a business and I'm a very busy person and I'm like, there are lots of people who want this, you know what I mean? Like, make yourself valuable. You are valuable. You are offering them an amazing opportunity to change their life. Can you help word that? Oh, for what I say? How do you deny them? Oh, okay, no, okay, well, so for example, today I was talking to some girl and she was like basically talking about she's deciding between me and some girl with another business. And I was like, okay, I don't do competition. Like, this is petty. I'm not gonna worry about that. And so let me see what I had said back to her. Cause I talked to her yesterday. We ended up FaceTiming yesterday about the business. And that's when she's like, okay, I'm basically like between you and some other chick. I'm gonna decide tomorrow. And so today I had followed up with her and told her I was opening spots today. And she was just like, how much is it to start again? I'm waiting to hear back from the other girl. I should know by sometime tonight or tomorrow. And I'm just like, no one's gonna drag me along, okay? Don't let people drag you along. Don't no. And so it's just like 99, but okay, I don't typically hold spots, so I'm going to go ahead and open them. Good luck with your decision. And she's like, thanks, girl. What happens if the spots are filled? I'm confused. And I said, then I won't have any open until sometime next month or so. I only let so many people join my team at a time, so they have the best one-on-one training, and they usually fill fast when I open them. Okay? People want what you got. I just signed my 5th distributor of the month today, and I'm going for 15 this month, and I'm sure as hell going to make it happen, and I'm not going to make it happen by like hoping and begging people to join me. I'm going to make it happen by being confident, by sharing my story, by talking about where I'm going, and by reaching out to people who are commenting or messaging or commenting or liking my business posts. And another way is, and it's usually like people will hop on it when you do that too. Let me see. I don't have like a text saved for that. I kind of just say like whatever I want. I'm kind of just like Kaylee, you do the same thing too. I don't know if you have a text saved for it, but it's literally just like, okay, they're like, I should have the money by Friday, or okay, if they tell me they're going to think about it, okay, if they're like, I'm going to think about it, I'm just like, okay, well, my messages are flooded right now, and I'm going first come, first serve. Oh yeah, okay, so usually I say something like, okay, girl, my messages are flooded right now, and I'm going in order of first come, first serve. They usually fill pretty fast, so I can let you know next time I'll be opening positions.
So if somebody tells me, like, if they tell me that they're going to join on a certain day because they get paid, what I've been saying lately is, okay, girl, I can save your spot until that day, but I do want to let you know, like, I normally don't save spots for people. So if you aren't able, like, I don't say if you aren't able, but like something along the lines of if you aren't able that day, like, I'm going to have to give that spot to somebody else. And like even like that day, if I follow up with them and they don't respond to me, like I'll give it, you know, till the end of the day or to the next morning or whatever, and I'll text them and be like, hey, just checking in one last time to see if you wanted the spot. If not, let me know, because somebody else wants it. Like and like she said, like if you open up a certain amount of spots, like other than that, I don't hold spots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's basically what I do.
And that works.
Yeah, it works super good. Okay, does anyone have any questions before we hop off?
I do want to add that, like, these are like really good outlines for your messages, but don't copy and paste her messages, because she's not copying and pasting Katie's messages, because like what works for her is not going to work for you. I know when I first started, I was having problems signing DTs, and it was because I was literally copying and pasting somebody else's DT conversations, and it does not sound like me, and it's not genuine, and nobody signed with me, and they can sense if it's not you, especially because like they're seeing your post. If you're talking different in messages with them than you are in your post, they're going to know something's up, and that's weird. So yeah, don't copy and paste, just like use the outline. But like using the outline, you can find what works for you. So like you can edit it a couple of times, and like if it's not working, then just edit the messages, and you can always ask your upline for help with that as well. But like once you sign a DT, keep using that conversation over and over again, because if it works with one person, it's going to work again. And if you have signed a DT again, then just do that again, because it's going to work again.
Exactly. I love that. Yep. That's perfect. It's just repeating a system. It's literally just repeating a system of like what works for you, and then you go. Okay, so no questions. So we're good then. Okay, we're gonna hop off. All right, guys. I will talk to you later.